Hi, it's Mitch from Pickdawgz.com here with your free pick in the Minnesota versus Penn State college basketball matchup on Saturday, March the 2nd, 2024. If you like all the free picks we do at Pickdawgz, you'll love our premium picks, our best bets. Use the discount code PICK for 15% off. We also have products meant for people who make big bets, people with big bankrolls looking for that one-on-one concierge style service. But those products are not available on the website. To get those products, you got to text the number you see on the screen. So if you make big bets, text that number. But let's get to this one. Minnesota taking on Penn State. It's Big Ten college basketball action. We've kind of seen the good and bad from both these teams. And Penn State, it's been a step back type year. Of course, their head coach going to Notre Dame after last season. So kind of a little bit of an adjustment for them. For Minnesota, I think this is a program that we're starting to see bounce off the ground. And I think it's been a while since Minnesota has been good on a consistent basis. We'll see some good teams here and there out of the Gophers, but what we haven't seen is any kind of consistency to the good side. It'll be interesting to see who they retain for next season and who leaves, but I think if they can hold this team somewhat together, Minnesota might be onto something here, and this team is 17-11 on the season. They have played some pretty good basketball and one of the best cover teams in all of college basketball. So, what that means, and of course, they don't care, about covering the spread. We know that. We've seen it time and time again. I mean, how many times we see teams dribble it out or, miss the free throw seemingly on purpose when they have a chance to cover for us. They do not care about covering the spread. But what it does show in general is that they can compete. And I think if you cover spreads, especially reasonable spreads, it just means that you can compete with the conference, especially in conference play, where they have been exceptional covering the number. These teams met at the end of January, so a little over a month ago. It was at Penn State, and it was Minnesota getting the outright win. They were 2.5-point dogs in that game, but won that game by 9, 83-74. When we look at what Penn State has done recently, they did have back-to-back wins, beating Illinois and Indiana at Penn State, but then going to Iowa and losing by 9 in a game where the spread was really all over the place. Prior to those two wins, though, they had lost 3 in a row, Northwestern, Michigan State, and at Nebraska. So it's kind of been, they've been very good at home. They do have some road wins, Indiana, Rutgers, those type of games. But those, at this point, seem like they were a while ago. When we look at Minnesota, coming off of that loss against Illinois, they were very competitive in that game, was back and forth for most of the game, losing 105-97 in that thing. Man, a couple stops down the floor would have made a big difference in that one. They had also lost at Nebraska 73-55 in a rare non-cover. But prior to that, wins at home against Ohio State and Rutgers, losses at Purdue and Iowa, home wins, Michigan State, Northwestern, and of course that win at Penn State that we already talked about. I think when we look at this Minnesota team, I think, like I said, I think we're starting to see the path if they hold this team together. They have some good players on there, and certainly they can compete, and I think that they're miles ahead of where Penn State is at this point. I think Minnesota wins easily, and that's going to be my free pick. Of course, while you're doing your picks today, putting your bets in, use our free betting tools at sportschatplace.com, 100% free, and they'll help put you on the most favorable bets on the board today.